your house, house, house. In 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 your
Bada boom, realest one in the room. How you doing? I'm a certified G, bona fide stud. You can't teach that. And you are tuned in to IYH.
Hi, this is Isla Dawn, and you're watching In Your House podcast. This is Alexis Littlefoot, the Big Flexer, and this is In Your House.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Poppers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the man, and I'm in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it's Thursday, which means it's the day after Dynamite, which means it's time to talk AEW Dynamite, and I got the fellas with me. Joining me like they do every week to talk a little Dynamite is, of course, my man. He is the oldest man on the internet. He's the OG of professional wrestling, representing Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. OG Tony Gonzalez, what is up, man?
Oh, I'm excited, man. It's a perfect weekend for me. Got like 4 pay-per-views to watch, so I'm pretty excited. Plan on watching WWE on Saturday. Then I think I'm gonna go out to the Muncie Dragway, watch some drag race. I've never been there in all my years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there, and then Sunday, of course, I'm gonna do the show with you guys, and then I'm gonna watch TNA, and then I'm gonna watch. Trying to decide which one I'm gonna watch live. If I'm gonna watch NXT or if I'm gonna watch AEW. Yeah, I keep going back and forth. Probably gonna watch Forbidden Door because I think I can catch the NXT on the app.
Yeah.
Later, so I'm probably going to do that.
No, it's a good problem to have when you have that much wrestling to watch and how you're going to fit it all in, man. So either way, you're going to have a great weekend, it sounds like, man. And we've got a lot to cover that we're going to cover this weekend with all those shows that you just mentioned. And today we're going to cover Dynamite, but of course joining me here to cover Dynamite is of course the producer of the show. On Wednesdays we talk WCW, but every day he's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? And Tony's nurses, how are you doing? You know, Tony, I've always wanted to ask you, since Biden's no longer in the presidency and he's not really on social media, he kind of gave up that oldest man on the internet gimmick. Was it a gracious turnover? Like, did he just, give it to you and see what you can do, Tony?
He didn't know what was going on anyway. So
yeah, well, there you go. Well, I am glad you took that torch and you're running with us, OG Tony. Everybody, you see the QR codes. If you want to catch OG Tony and all the Gonzo guys, go check them out there. Check us out. We got so many things coming at you that are going to be advancing in your house network and Gonzo's Sports Room and Wrestling. alike because they're going to be linked up with us when we get all these projects kicked off. There'll be so many ways you'll be able to get in touch with Tony. His family might call the cops on you and press charges. That's what's going to happen.
Oh man, I love it. I love the fact that we're back here again on a Thursday and to talk some wrestling, man. It's always great, something I look forward to during the week. And then, of course, we got a big show that we're trying to line up for this Sunday with all the wrestling going on. But today we're going to talk some AEW Dynamite. And, of course, that's because we got to do the AEW Dynamite. Yeah, review show, and we're getting right into it because I got to tell you, for a go-home show to a pay-per-view, there was a lot of wrestling. And that sounds like the way I'm saying it makes it sound bad. I mean, it's not really bad, but like for a go-home show, there was a lot of wrestling. They almost did a Forbidden Door light at this Dynamite in a way. I mean, everything that they had moving, whether it be the Death Riders going up against Mystico and Brodito, whether it be the survival of the fittest qualifying matches continuing with Harley Cameron shocking everybody and defeating Marina Shafir of the Death Riders. Also, Queen Aminata, she advanced as well in the tournament. Swerve Strickland had a match with Daniel Garcia. I got to tell you, I thought that match was really great, and I loved Daniel Garcia's energy coming out for this match. I don't get a chance to see a whole lot of Daniel Garcia, but the way he was hyping himself up when he was coming out, you can tell that he felt like there was a lot on the line. There was a chip on his shoulder, and it helped add to the match. I don't get a chance to see enough Zack Sabre Jr. matches. I haven't seen a Zack Sabre Jr. match in quite a number of years. He went up against Jungle Jack Perry, who had a great match with him, but my God, Zack Sabre Jr. and his constant joint manipulation is just crazy. That dude is insane. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk more about that as we move on. Then, of course, the main event for the International Championship, Konosuke Takeshita went up against Ricochet. This was a great match. This was an excellent match. I mean, once again, I know there was some story in there as they were really, I thought the main event segment, the match was great, but the main event segment where everybody from each side came out and kind of got their shit in at the very end and then it ended. But another thing, I mean, they are really building with Andrade here. That was one thing that really stuck out to me is that MJF keeps overlooking Andrade. Then, of course, he hit Andrade with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. I mean, there was some story in here, but just loads and loads of wrestling. OG, what was your overall thoughts on this episode, the go-home episode to Forbidden Door, this episode of Dynamite?
It was a very, very weird episode. If you go compared to last week, we had 4 matches last week,
Yeah.
and a lot of promos. And then this week we had hardly any promos, and if we did a promo, it was very quick, and had 8 matches on this show.
So it felt like it should have been flipped.
Yeah, it was a weird show. I'm not saying it was a bad show. I'll be honest. At times, so much some people are probably gonna get mad at me, but the match that really bored me was Ospreay.
Ospreay and ELP.
Yeah, first of all, I don't know who ELP is, so nothing really. Nobody. I mean, of course, the announcer said who he was, but what about a video package? I mean, you could have spent a minute, something.
Yeah.
They do that too much to me. That's for my liking. But yeah, I was a little bored by that match. There was some good wrestling on the show. I mean, people can say what they want. AEW's probably got the best wrestling overall.
Yeah.
As far as wrestling for shows, they're probably the best wrestling. They struggle with some of the other things sometimes, but it was a good wrestling show. I think a couple of the matches could have maybe been on Collision. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it wasn't a bad show. It was decent.
Yeah, it was a decent show, but I like what you said, and I agree when you said it was weird. I mean, why do we? Once again, it's gonna be weird for me to talk about this show because I enjoyed the show. I liked the show, but I didn't love the fact that we had so much wrestling on a go home show. There should have been more story leading up into this. Is the last Dynamite before Forbidden Door, and you got to sell me on that. And you didn't. I mean, once again, there was a lot of great wrestling. I can't. This whole episode has kind of got my brain messed up because the wrestling was great. I enjoyed it. Really loved Takeshita and Ricochet. I didn't love the. Why did we have a warm up match for Will Ospreay? I mean, the match itself was good, but why did we have it? That's what we kept things going. I love the fact that we kept things going with the survival of the fittest. 6-woman elimination match is going to be going down next week. So now we got something to look forward to next Dynamite with that 6-woman elimination, and the winner comes out the TBS champion. Great building towards that. I'm sure we're going to get our last participant probably on Collision, but there was a lot, man. I mean, there was a lot, and it's like you put so much in. I completely forgot about the whole Young Bucks segment and the Cope and Cage stuff. It was just so much sandwiched in there, I don't understand. I really felt like there was so much that was done in ring, and I'm like, you could have took out 2 of those matches, hell, even 3 of those matches, put them on Collision, and it would have made sense. I just think that they overshot it a little bit with the matches and the in-ring action. It was insane. We're about to go to Voice here and get his thoughts, but first let's hit the chat. We got Rib shot in there. He says 8 matches for a go-home show. Go-home shows in wrestling used to be all hype and cliffhangers to sell the pay-per-view. Having 8 matches just sounds like zero thought went into it. Rib, I can't argue with you, man. This is what I'm saying. As I watched the show a second time today, and I even thought today, I was like, just for a go-home show, that's an awful lot of wrestling. I've talked enough. I got to get some thoughts here from the Voice here. Give me some of your thoughts, man, on this episode of Dynamite.
Okay, so after last week's Dynamite, I was like, oh shit, these guys are going to cook going into Forbidden Door. They've heard all the negativity, and they're going to turn that around in AEW fashion and do something great. So I took notes, okay?
Hell yeah.
Well, no, not hell yeah, because
hell no.
I woke up and I threw away those notes, and I rewatched it throughout the day and took new notes. So the opening was fine until the fuck up by Will Ospreay.
Oh, when he fell down?
Yeah, when he fell down. And then, see, you could have recovered from that. You could have not even acknowledged it. But when all members acknowledged it of this badass fucking group that don't take no shit from nobody, you look like clowns. I'm sorry. You look like clowns, because now I don't believe you could do anything. Because now all your opposites got to do is get you giggling, and he could kick you in the dick. You're done. Boom. Death Riders are over. This first match, I kind of liked it. I liked Brodito. I like what they're doing, because it puts Brody King into a luchador setting. Did you guys see what the fuck Brody King was doing in that match?
That was insane.
Amazing shit. I liked it. But I do have to go into what I believe Paul Heyman was saying, and I still think Claudio's in his own prison. I think that Claudio is a guy that you can put at the top and run with him outside of the Death Riders, and he would be bigger. But for some reason, they got him in this group, and it kind of talks about what Heyman was saying with Cesaro, Claudio, when he was Cesaro over in the WWE. Like, there's nothing else you can do with him but make him the best. Then if you do that, you outshine this guy. But I don't know, man.
No, my question is this: is it and just kind of adding to it? He has all the tools to be the guy. Why isn't he the guy? My question is, does he want to be the guy?
That's a good possibility that maybe he doesn't want it. But I mean, to learn 5 different languages, speak them fluently, to train the way he does, to do the movesets he does, Your
it's
actions are
mind-boggling
speaking.
that
Yeah.
exactly. It's mind-boggling that you don't want to be the guy when you have all the tools. You train like you want to be the guy. You learn the languages. You learn, to be more charismatic like you want to be the guy. But then you're just kind of chilling in the stable, and like
Yeah.
I don't even think about Claudio when I think about the Death Riders, and that's not any like detriment to him. It's just he's so quiet and like in the background. Like, dude, I think of Daniel Garcia before in the Death Riders before I think of Claudio, and that's because Daniel Garcia is playing that character where he's beating on his chest. He's kind of the guy with the chip on his shoulder with little man syndrome, and it's kind of an interesting character. But Claudio is just their voice.
Yeah, I agree, and I see what you're saying. They're fighting that Claudio lacks charisma, but I don't think he does. I think it's his booking and the writing they go into it. I'm going to finish up that one with, I think Brody King is this generation's Bam Bam Bigelow, 100%. Okay, done with those first notes. Mina
I like that.
is Mox in a wig. That's what I got from her match. That's what that is, because she tries to play this Mox character, and it's just annoying to me. I'm done with Mina. I'm kind of done. Yeah, you know what this whole what this showed me from this AEW Dynamite was that the Death Riders are a glorified indie group who goes into indie promotions. They're like, well, we're the best, right? So we should get the best opportunities, right? We should be featured everywhere, right? Yeah, I've seen it. It's boring. Done with those ones. Oh shit! I dropped my notes. Jay Leno went through. Yeah, what'd you want, Howse?
No. I was just wondering because when I think about the Death Riders, I there was something that Bully Ray said, and I want to get some thoughts on that when I go into that. But going back to Marina Shafir here, one thing I noticed that was so weird, and maybe you guys noticed it too. So for the first time when she came out to wrestle, she was wrestling in like boots.
Yeah.
She was in boots. Then about halfway through the match, it goes to commercial break, come back, and she's barefoot again.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't like her footing.
What? Why? What?
Yeah.
That's a good question, man.
Nobody even called to it? Like, did I miss something?
You missed her taking off her boots. That's what you missed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't understand, man. And like, here's the thing, like, when you watch AEW, in the scope of AEW, you see people, and the people like the Death Riders. The people in the live audience likes the Death Riders. But when I watch them on TV, I'm seeing exactly what Voice is seeing. I'm seeing that these guys are just like, it's almost, and I hate to say this about guys like Wheeler Yuta, about guys like Daniel Garcia, about guys like Claudio, but it almost seems like the stable is just taking up space. Yeah. And it's this Moxley mindset that this is a cool thing, that everybody likes it, but everybody in the live audience is pretending to like it because they're buying in because they bought a ticket.
It benefits one person. It benefits John Moxley.
Exactly.
Who in that stable has benefited from being in that group?
I can't even. Nobody.
Rib shot. Let me clarify this. I mean, Bam Bam in the big guy being able to do the aerial maneuvers. I understand where you're coming from. He has a ways to go to become an official Bam Bam, but with his moves, Brody King, to me, that's what I see. I mean, the dude's doing things that when we look at guys that size, we don't think they can do. Yeah. And Fighting's one saying fans love Mox. That's true. That's 100% true. I get it. This image, but when I say these things, it's because I've been to indie shows and seen this type of mentality with people I look at and I go, okay, I get the fans like you, but if we were to put you in certain situations, how are you going to react? And are you going to be able to adapt to the next chapter that you might have to write for yourself going forward without a group? And I just don't see that with Mox. Like, to me, he's not entertaining if he's not doing this stuff that's bringing in all these other guys. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know too much about Yuta without the Death Riders. And to me, that's kind of sad. And now I'm glad I do know more about Yuta because of the Death Riders. So I guess I can say that positive about the Death Riders group. But I'm with you guys. I'm glad you guys are drinking the Kool-Aid I've been saying for months and months on this one. I'm done with the Death Riders. That video package for the finals women's with Monet, I thought was great. I love where they're going with this. And I'm going to throw another one out there for you to go against Ribshot. But I think Maya might be becoming AEW's Mikey Whipwreck. She's getting a natural fan base behind her. You may not think she's going to be able to pull this off, but I think Maya keeps winning. She keeps winning, and her story drags fans to just love what she's doing. So to me, she's a AEW's Mikey Whipwreck. Like, I like it, and I want to see her succeed and do some more things. Looking forward to the finish of this tournament to see if they put it on her. I'm not sure if they will, but I think they might. Stop trying to sell me on Will Ocean Spray. I'm a Mountain Dew boy, so fuck off. That's what I love, Mountain Dew. I don't like this Ocean Spray stuff. I get it. Like, there's so many people who enjoy what he does, but to me, it's robotic. It's me waiting for these moves that we know he's going to do. It's almost like you're just waiting for the wave of the audience to go through the sports arena because you know it's halftime. Like, okay, I get it. Like, I hope they do something with this story with him and the Death Riders completely dissolving. But I don't know where we're going with that. ELP, that guy, he looks like he sells Flintstone chewable vitamins to high schoolers saying it's ecstasy. That's all I can say about that guy.
You know who he, and I hate to say it, but when I seen him, I was thinking Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah. Just the rave version. Ouch. Like,
you just call it like you see it, man. Just call it like you see it.
I didn't really I liked the kind of indie shot of Daniel Garcia going to his match, but I didn't like where he started it. He started it so far back. I think he should have started it more at the entrance.
He was all
of
the
the
way
arena.
Outside of the arena, bro.
Yeah,
and just to add to that, I loved it because he came in like with so much like steam. Like I kind of felt like my adrenaline was starting to rush watching him come to the ring. I agree with you that I think it was too far out, but seeing him come in and watching him with that, like my adrenaline was starting to rush. I was like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, we about to go to war. Like I liked that energy.
Yeah, I totally get you, but Howse, we obtained that in WCW with Chris Benoit's official, like going to WCW Nitro. He just got out of a limo at the entrance of it and then walked in. I really think that's where they should have started it. Like Daniel Garcia maybe looking at the camera and then opening up both of the doors and walking through it. To me, that just took me out of it being so far of a walk for him. Right. But I ended up enjoying the overall result of it. Swerve has become very direct and violent in his matches, especially with Garcia, man. That dude is laying in some hits when he was going up against Garcia. I really enjoyed this match. It was probably my favorite match of the night. Again, when it comes down to it, man, like this should have been flipped with last week's AEW. I enjoyed the back and forth in this match. That Death Valley driver on the ring apron was so gnarly. That was really, really gruesome, and I enjoyed it. I liked what I didn't like though is that Swerve quit selling the leg that was being worked on, and I think when your commentary team kind of hits on that a lot, especially in your match, it was just a little miscue, but there was so much shit going on that maybe he just you know,
I think
adrenaline kicked
Swerve.
in.
You literally took the words right out of my mouth. I think with Swerve, I think his when he starts getting into that flow state, his adrenaline starts going and he forgets to sell.
Yeah, I could see that, and it's an easy thing, but that was me nitpicking that match. If I had
Sure.
to say something I didn't like about it, and then I'll just wrap it up. I enjoyed the whole main event. I thought that was awesome. I
Oh
like
man.
the I like the way Ricochet came out with the demand. I liked that energy. I think Ricochet's really setting his mark in AEW with the
Yep.
demand. And
Yep.
he's proving a lot of naysayers, which I was one of them, that what are we going to do after the Jericho thing with them? And I think they're stepped in a perfect puddle, and I can't wait to see what goes further with them.
I really voice. I really like what you're saying here because this main event where Ricochet went up against Chateska for the international championship, great main event. Ricochet is furthering the narrative that not only can he have great matches, but also he has got to a point where he can talk. He can make you care now. That was one of the biggest things that Ricochet had issues with in WWE is that he could put out great matches, but did you care about his matches? You were watching them to see the amazing feats that were going to happen, but you knew there was a chance he was going to lose the match, or if he won the match, it would not lead to anything.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing him main event Dynamites for their more upper echelon mid card championship, and that's just great. He's doing great work. I'm enjoying it, and once again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face because it is important and it should be said, and he should be praised for it. We're talking about Ricochet because what he's doing between the ropes, bell to bell, and not what he's talking about on social media.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point to hit because we drove it so much when he was just spouting off on social media
Yep.
about how big of a fool he was making of himself. So the fact that we've turned a 180 on Ricochet and now we're talking about what he's doing in the ring, I'm happy with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wanna drop this in here for you guys to ponder on. I'll start with OG because we just had Voice give his thoughts on the show. I want to go back and rewind a little bit just for a quick thought on the Death Riders. And the reason I brought it up is because the Death Riders were a very big topic of conversation this past week, specifically on our friends over at Busted Open. Bully Ray had to say, and I quote, the Death Riders have not helped AEW in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to talk about what all the stuff happened after that and all the threats made. Let's meet up somewhere and fight. Blah blah blah. Who was that? Josh Burnett. I think it was Josh
Yeah.
Burnett that was talking about fight. I don't care about none of that stuff right now. I want to talk about the statement. I want to get some of your thoughts, OG. Let's be honest about it, and that's why I know both of you guys are gonna be straight shooters and honest with it. But I'm starting with OG here. Bully Ray said the Death Riders have not helped AEW in any way, shape, or form. What do you think? Is there some truth to that statement? Is he kind of like maybe going too far with it? What do you think?
Well, Marina's further along than what she was, but I think she's peaked and she's really not went anywhere. I mean, honestly, when I see her, I think Ronda Rousey light.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Yuta had some story for a while, but he's just in the background. Really, nobody. Really, let's look at it from the fact that he's champion and who's he making.
Nobody.
Even as champion, he's not making nobody. I mean, he's wrestled some guys and been good matches, but them guys went nowhere afterwards. I mean,
Yep.
if he wrestles Bandito, what I'm worried about, he's going to wrestle Bandito, and Bandito's going to go back to the tag team.
Yep.
He's not going to go anywhere up the card. So I don't see it. Bully Ray's right. Now I do think Bully Ray did this for a reason. I think he believes everything that he said, but I think he was also working. And what I mean by that, I think he said all this to get everybody to forget about Tommy Dreamer for a minute.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought about that a little bit too because a lot of people were saying some pretty tough things about Tommy Dreamer right now. And Tommy Dreamer, I just listened to him today. Tommy Dreamer's just keeping his head down and doing his thing with Bustin' Open. But yeah, there's people that's talking crazy about Tommy right now. It's crazy to see. But voice, what do you think? Because I know you got a lot of strong thoughts on the Death Riders, but the Death Riders have not helped AEW in any way, shape, or form. He said that on Busted Open. What do you think? Where we at?
Oh, that's a bit of an extremist statement. I mean, nothing. They improved Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that Mox is doing anything that really benefits anybody like outside of his bubble that he's going to allow, but again, it's a large group with a lot of big names, big hitters. I mean, Claudio to me, he's really not. He's well known in an AEW crowd because of the Death Riders, but I think without the Death Riders, he would have been just as well known.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tommaso. Tommaso's already making a big impact, and he's not linked up with anybody. He's a lone wolf out there doing it on his own.
Yeah.
I just think the what Tony just said about the Tommy Dreamer thing, I that kind of flipped my whole thinking on it.
It makes sense.
That makes way more sense than him hyperbolically saying this. And it actually makes me laugh even more that people outside of wrestling are biting on it and making it real life. And Bully and Devon and whoever else is involved can just, when the cameras go off, sit back and laugh their asses off. Because I'm seeing stories of people saying stuff about Bully and saying, well, he goes to these New Jersey nightclubs on the shore and he buys shots for 22-year-old girls. And then there's like a bunch of guys in there going, and what? So what's the problem there? Like, he's just buying people drinks. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Bro, what about the referee that came out and said Tommy Dreamer said I was never gonna make it?
Jesus.
Okay. Not everybody is gonna love what you're doing. That doesn't mean you should stop. And like, what's the point? Like, what did you think he was gonna gain from a little victimhood? You know, like he said I wasn't gonna make it. And I guess I'm like, come on, bro, stop it.
Does that young ref realize that Tommy Dreamer was part of a promotion in which every Monday night to a large audience, Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler would talk so much shit about these professional wrestlers, men who were getting paid to do the exact same thing that they're watching on their promotion. And he's saying that they were never going anywhere. It was trash. I mean, the King called them fucking garbage wrestling for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, people are way too sensitive. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
Yeah, my thing is some of the people that came out, and I don't know those people. So I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people, but we're only hearing these stories after the guy's down. They're kicking him while he was down. Why didn't they come? If this happened a year ago, 2 years ago, why didn't they go to the press then? You know, why are you going to kick the guy while he's down? And it all could be true. I'm not saying that it's not. I don't know. I wasn't there. But just like the young lady said, you know, he wanted to do this thing where touched her butt or whatever. She did it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she just didn't want to tell Tommy Dreamer no. There was another young guy, a competitor, who said that Tommy Dreamer said he couldn't push a cocky black man in today's society. They couldn't push him up the card. I find that hard to believe that he said that. Now, maybe he did. I don't know Tommy Dreamer. But why are we talking about this now? This didn't happen a week ago. This happened a long time ago. So now these guys, like I said, it's kind of kick a guy while he's down and try to get your name out there. I think it's more important to get your name out there than anything.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Just did Tommy Dreamer do the best job of booking TNA once they got in the spot? I think that's why he lost the job. I think that they thought they was going to have more progression, and they didn't, and so they're trying to become profitable. If you, I've been checking out some articles and things. They're doing things to try to be profitable. They're talking about going with OVW. It was time for a change of guard. And I hate to happen to Tommy because I think Tommy tried to do a good job. I think Tommy loves wrestling, but that happens. He's not the first person to lose their job, and he won't be the last.
No, promotions evolve. It happens all the time. We see it all the time. So people just need to pump the brakes sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I
let
just
shit
thought that
roll
was
out.
I just thought that was so crazy because it's like, bro, he lost his job, you know. He's still trying to hang tough, and like the way he's hanging tough on Busted Open makes me feel like he's like, well, I've been through this before, you know, like
Yes.
you know, like, well, I've been through this before. So it's like, I don't know. To those people that's trying to just leech off of the name to try to get a little clout, like, come on, bro, that's gross. Like, you know, your name's not gonna stand the test of time because you're trying to score points off of somebody that's you know in a low point. You're like, get over yourself. That's gross. But listen, we got the chat here. We got Ribshot, who we have new allegations out on Tommy Dreamer now from Ribshot. Apparently, a few years ago, Tommy Dreamer slapped Ribshot's grandmother. That's terrible.
What was Meemaw doing?
Yeah, what was she doing?
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer just doesn't slap people.
Did she deserve it? I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah, like, did he book it like that? Like,
yeah.
Did he book it like that?
is that how he booked it? Like, but oh man, I'm loving it. I am loving it. But okay, we're gonna do our loves and lows because we still got quite a few things to talk about here when it comes to AEW Dynamite. A lot of good stuff. Once again, a whole lot of wrestling. Everything we liked, everything we disliked, what we thought was great, what we thought could improve. We're going to talk about that. We have Forbidden Door coming up this weekend, along with a whole lot of wrestling. And oh my gosh, Ribshot, what? Whoa, this was a few years ago and she's been dead for 15 years. Listen, on that note, we're going to have to take a break. We'll be right back with the loves and the lows.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where our YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where I YH live.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakon the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. I'm hanging out with OG Tony and the voice, Josh Joseph, and we're hanging and banging, talking some AEW. And guys, I'm telling you, I've been getting those hours in. I got a vacation coming up next month, so I've been trying to get those hours in so we can travel, get some things done, and not have to worry about finances and whatnot. And I think the only reason I'm able to do that and able to deal with these long hours is because of Goalie Nutrition. You guys can get your wellness journey started too. All you got to do is go to goalie.com, put in promo code IYH, get the 10% discount on Matcha Mind gummies, on some ashwagandha gummies, on apple cider vinegar gummies, and let them know In Your House sent you. And check out everything we're doing on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on Twitch, on IG, and then of course on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So we are gonna do the loves and the lows. Before we do that, we're going to hit the chat because we got Big Glenn in the building. He says, what's up, guys? Checking in live from 30 feet. Oh, and where's he? Oh, he said he's outside of San Francisco, but he's not looking for no woman, though. If you know, you know. Big Glenn, what are you doing in San Francisco? I have questions.
He's going to a race.
Oh, okay. That's what he's doing.
He's going NASCAR weekend. He's got a big NASCAR weekend plan out there. And if you guys know, I won't go into it completely, but he's talking about a promo that Dr. D. David Schultz did on Hulk Hogan many years ago when he was in AWA, excuse me. You guys need to check. I'm not going to go into it because I might offend some people, but it's a pretty offensive promo. You guys might go look up that promo.
I'm gonna check that out. All right, man. That's crazy. Big Glenn's going doing some NASCAR. That's what is up, man. That's dope. But we're gonna get into the loves and the loaves. And man, I think we talked about it a lot, but it's time to get real deep into it, get real analytical like we do here at In Your House when we talk some wrestling. We're gonna start with voice. Give me some loves and give me some lows.
Ultimately, I did kind of love the stories that they did push. The big main event for Forbidden Door, the promos that they pushed for that were kind of good. I liked the interaction with the Callis family and MJF, alluding to Andrade. MJF is just destined to piss Andrade off at any moment he can. And I'm looking forward to the build for that ultimate match. I think that'll be fun. I love the matches. I mean, who doesn't love great wrestling?
True.
This was action packed.
Very true.
I thought it was great. Again, I'm going back to that Swerve match. I really seen the intensity that Swerve had towards Daniel Garcia in this one, and we talked about that. And how Swerve needs to go to a different chapter, a different level. Something different needs to happen with him. And I think this energy that he's carrying right now, fucking awesome. I also love the fact that he's got a new set of headphones out. So if you're interested in any new Swerve merch, go check those out.
That's cool. Prince
Nana was wearing them. They looked pretty nice. They have the In Your House logo. Just saying. I loved the idea of what the group the Death Riders can bring to a promotion.
Okay.
I loathe the way they deliver those things. Again, I hate when a promotion like AEW, in which these past couple months they have done so much good, so many matches, so many stories that we've thoroughly enjoyed, that when you show me things like the Death Riders doing a circle backstage and one of them falling, and then everyone comically reacting to it, you've taken the venom out of the snake, and now we're just looking at a man holding the snake. I want to know the man might get bit, and we might need to time out when the end of his days are coming. But when you do things like that, and again, the Daniel Garcia, the way, just the length of the walk, it took me out of that. That gave me indie vibes. I don't want to see that with them because I know they're better than that.
Can I add something just real quick? We'll get right back to you. I feel like not to make it too. I don't want to get too into WWE because this is AEW, but like Roman Reigns, when he was the big dog, I think we were all saying that if they would have had that, oh man, we want to like Roman Reigns, but he just needs that tweak. And then they tweaked it to the tribal chief, and we bought in. He was a heel, but we bought in as a heel. The only reason I bring that up is because I truly feel like in my heart of hearts that the Death Riders as a group is a tweak away from working.
Yeah, and I think that tweak is getting rid of Mox being the lead or being in him.
Yeah.
Because look, when you look at Roman, there's different levels of Roman. What we talked about when he was with the Shield, then he was the big dog, and now he's the tribal chief. You know, he's the ultimate iteration of what we're going to get with Roman.
Moxley just wants to stay Moxley, and that's it. He does not want to be anything more than what he is right now.
Yeah, and that's one of my lows with that. It just, yes, are they a tweak away? Yes, 100%. But that tweak is going to be a big tweak for me as a fan. And this is just me as a fan. This isn't set in stone, fans.
Sure.
So, give your opinions too. And the last thing that I'm going to say that I loathe, Briscoe, when you're doing a promo in the ring, when you want the fans to get behind you and make you be the baby face of anything, staring down at the mat while you deliver your promo is a no-no. What the fuck are you doing, man? Why are you looking at the ground while you're trying to get everybody in on your side? Yeah. It blows me away when they do small things like that. Maybe he was nervous. I highly doubt it. And why didn't the camera guy get up there when Takeshita was walking the ramp and Briscoe came right up there with him? Why didn't they get up there so we could hear what he's saying to him? Like, to me, that was a moment that you're going into Forbidden Door. You have two fan favorites of opposite sides of the world. Right there, like, those are moments that you could easily build upon and make better TV with. Those are my loves and lows, but I'm going to keep watching. I'll tune into Forbidden Door. Like, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we're locked into it, but we're going to always call it how we see it. That's the thing. Like, right out of the gate, I knew I was going to be like, this was a lot of wrestling for a go-home show. Like, you're not going to change my mind on that. Was the wrestling good? Yeah, it was good wrestling. I'm not going to say it was good wrestling, but the way that I'm conditioned to watch wrestling, because I've been in a room and watched wrestling, I've seen a lot of smart people book shows. I've watched wrestling with a lot of smart people. I've talked wrestling with a lot of smart people. In my opinion, you don't need that much wrestling on a go-home show. That should be a story-driven show. The go-home show should be mostly story leading up to the pay-per-view or PLE. You don't need that much wrestling because you're about to give them more wrestling at the PLE or pay-per-view.
True.
Why are you giving me 8 matches on the weekly show when you're about to give me 10 on Sunday?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
And
Give me story.
That's the big thing. Just that small tweak right there. And I see Fightins is saying there's no such thing as a big tweak. Pop that shirt off and let me twist them nips. I'll show you a big tweak.
Oh man, I love it. But do you see what I'm saying though? Like
100%.
It was too much. It was too much. Even if you would have did like OG said and put a couple of those matches on Collision, you're still okay. But like that much on the show that okay, Collision is on a Saturday. So even if you're an AEW fan, it's hit or miss if you're going to catch the show. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to hit the chat. Don't worry, we're going to hit the chat. But it's hit or miss if you're catching a Collision. You might have plans on a Saturday night. You might have to. But like if you're a committed AEW fan, you're not missing Dynamite.
No.
That you didn't need all of that there. So that's crazy. All right, let's hit the chat because we got Rib Shot. He is back again, and he says something you really don't want on any wrestling show at all is Gaston. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Of course we had to bring that up here. Rib Shot, man. Rib Shot, when he holds a grudge, he holds that grudge,
He
brother.
does. He does.
I'm surprised there's no cartoon out. But
Yeah.
already with Gaston and Ripshot just laying into him.
See, because here's the thing. I feel like Rib Shot would be like, you know what? I'm not gonna give him a cartoon because that would be giving
right.
him giving him attention. And Rib Shot's like, no, I want to deprive him. I want him to have no press at all, no attention at all. I'm only gonna talk about him with my homies in your house.
Exactly. He never speaks of him outside of this chat. I love it.
Nope. Hey, that's all right. All right, let's continue this because once again, this episode, it just got my head messed up. I want to get some of Tony's loves and lows. What do you got for me, big dog?
Well, the first thing I really loved the Meyer World and Mercedes video package.
Yeah.
I thought that was very well done. I really like that. I'm starting to believe more and more in Meyer World. I just hope, win or lose, that they don't screw this up.
Yeah.
And they continue with her, got some kind of plan for her. I'm just
No
hoping
matter
this is
what.
not no matter what. I mean, if she loses, that's fine, but have a plan for her. Now, one thing I didn't like, they got her wrestling a tag team match with her tag team partner on Collision.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of a mistake. Of course, they are wrestling Mercedes and what's her name, the ring, Athena. But I think that's too much. I think they was with that video package. I think they was set up where they needed to be. I think they're pushing it with a tag team match.
Yeah, they don't need to touch on Collision. Why?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a mistake. But I did love that. The other thing I loved was Tekla. I really liked what they did with her package and what they're doing with her. Really, if you stop and think about it, as far as a Forbidden Door story, that's the main Forbidden story that they have.
Yep.
So I mean, so I like that. And the one thing I didn't like about that, and I'm going to the other end of the spectrum there, that I'm going to put a low in.
Okay, let's
Where
go.
was Starlight Kid? Why isn't she on the damn show?
Yes. Come on, man.
That's a miss because, like I said, this is the biggest story on there. Now, I still think they could salvage it. I think, not that I want Tekla to lose, but if you want to make Forbidden Door mean something, you have Starlight Kid defeat Tekla.
It's the only way that would make you believe that Forbidden Door would mean something.
True.
And she could get it back at Redemption.
She can get it right back.
Yeah. But
take a swing.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and we've talked about this before, last night, if you guys noticed, you had people leaving the ring and people coming to the ring at the same time. I mean, you're trying to put 10 pounds of crap, or 10 pounds of stuff. I won't say crap, doing crap. That's not fair. 10 pounds of stuff in a 7-pound bag.
True.
So I think they just put too much on the show. And for me, hey, there's a lot of people out there that probably love that show and probably thought it was a 10, and that's fine. But to me, I think it hurt the show a little bit for me. But I
agree, Tony.
I think if they would have went 6 matches,
yeah,
I would even go drop it down to 4 or 5. You don't, because they prove that they can deliver stories with the Dynamite before, and we all like that one.
They were doing better. I think that's the thing I worry about Tony Khan sometimes is I think his attention span. I think he can't stick with anything.
Yeah,
I think he's used to throwing stuff up against the wall, and I think that's kind of hurt him. That's why I think if he had a committee of people to rein him in, I'm not even saying that he has to do everything that those people say, but at least they could rein him in a little bit.
Tony, let me ask you, do you think that he's reading the comments too much on all the different platforms? I think so too. I think that's where he's at. I think, plus he's a younger billionaire. You know, he knows the tech and he knows what people want, and that's, he comes from the era of loving wrestling where the fans drove what was happening. So I wish somebody would take that away from him in a way. You know, maybe
Yeah.
not let him see so much of the comments.
Yeah. I've become a supporter of Tony Khan because I understand what he's trying to put out with AEW and what he's trying to give us a good alternative, and I feel like some lessons from the past he has learned.
Yeah.
I feel like
100%.
I feel like some lessons from the past he has learned, but somebody has got to tell him that if the only thing you try to do is cater to the internet, you're gonna lose, brother.
You lose every time.
You're going to
Yeah.
lose because they are never, ever, ever satisfied. If you are just catering to the internet, and here's the biggest thing. It's one thing to cater to the internet. It's a completely different bitch when the internet realize that you're catering to the internet,
Yeah.
because then they feel like they have power and they feel like they can dictate the show, and they feel like that's how shows get hijacked.
Yeah.
That's how shows get hijacked, because you get a bunch of motherfuckers on the internet that get together and actually buy tickets for once, and their plan is to go out there and act most ass as you could possibly be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why
one
we
thing.
give you guys control in the chat. We don't let you take it. We've given you control.
That's one thing that WWE gets heat for, that people say they don't listen to the fans enough. I think they listen to the fans. I think they listen to the fans that show up in the seats. I think
Yep.
they listen to the numbers, the actual numbers, TV numbers, and Netflix numbers. I think they listen to them. The internet, I mean, you don't know, that person just may hate it to hate it. So why listen to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, to back you up, what you're saying is Danhausen. 100% live. Everybody loves him. When he hits the screen, everybody's watching him. But the internet will talk shit about him. Like, they have talked some massive shit about him. WWE doesn't listen to that. They listen to what they're seeing and
Yep.
who's chiming in and investing in it. And Danhausen, to me, proven exactly what you're saying about WWE.
Well, and that's something else. WWE runs as a business.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying AEW don't run as a business, but I think that he's still learning how to run a business. It's only 7 years in,
Yeah.
and so I think he's still learning that. I don't think he run. Well, for one thing, we talked about Ricochet. I think Tony Khan reeled him in. I think
Yeah.
Tony Khan went to him and said, "Look, this has got to stop."
Yeah.
Because you're making things harder than it has to be. So I think he is trying to. I think the CM Punk stuff. I think he's learned. You got to take control. Or if you let the prisoners let the inmates run the
Asylum,
prison,
yeah.
you're going to be in trouble. Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. So he had to reel that in some. But first of all, I want to say, I think Tony Khan's a good guy.
I do too.
I think he's a good person. So I don't want people to think that I'm putting him down. I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint. Some
Yeah.
things, and I think I think they are working on it. I think they're getting better. Again, it's kind of hard, and I wouldn't be surprised if he don't need some medication. He's a little too hyper, and I'm not talking about coke.
yeah.
I'm not talking about coke, but
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just got hyper energy.
he's,
He
he's
does have
hyper
hyper
energy, and that could be hard to to maintain if you're trying to put something together, especially when you're doing it. So that's the other thing I get upset with the internet community about. How many people put together a weekly show of any kind?
Not many.
Not
many.
It's a difficult thing to do, and I think AEW was really popular at first. And I honestly, I think the wrestling's better now than it was the first couple of years, and that's when it was
Yeah.
most popular.
Yep.
But it was the new game in town.
Yep.
It was now the honeymoon phase is over. Another perfect example. Everybody wanted Vince out there. Triple H comes in first 2 years. Triple H couldn't do no wrong. Now Triple H can't do no right. So
They're just eating him alive.
yeah, I don't think he gives a shit, but
No,
I don't think he cares.
He sits back in Gorilla and puts on a show every week.
I agree. I do think both shows right now, WWE and AEW. I think AEW takes more swings, but I still think excitement wise, I still think AEW on their TV shows, not their pay-per-views, on their TV shows needs something to hit excitement wise. And the same thing for WWE. I think that they're lacking excitement.
Yeah,
Not that they're
I
bad
think
shows.
no. It's just that their WWE makes money off playing it safe.
Yes.
I think they make more money playing it safe than AEW does. They're just like, we just want to get past Night of Champions. We want to give them a decent show at Night of Champions. We don't want to blow the roof off the place. We'll save it for whatever we do at SummerSlam. And then after that, they're like, oh, maybe we got Money in the Bank. We'll have this Money in the Bank winner, but we're not going to blow the roof off the place. You know, for good, bad, or indifferent, WWE is more profitable when they're looking at it as a marathon instead of a race. They're not running out of the gate or anything like that. They're just like, okay, let's get here. All right, now let's get here. Let's get here. Slow and steady, getting to where they need to get to. It's not great. It's not glamorous. It's not sexy, but it's weekly television. And as Tony already said, weekly television is hard to write for sure. I truly believe that Tony Khan is a good guy with good intentions, and you know, he wants to do right. I do believe he wants to do right and put out a great company and put out a great product with his company. The issue is that it goes right back to what you guys were talking about. Voice was speaking about, is that he paying attention to the internet and trying to cater to them equates to absolutely nothing. It equates to nothing. That's why you got to look at merch sales. You got to look at live crowd reactions. You got to look at who's over, who's this, who's that. You got to look at the analytics, man. You got to look at the analytics, because if you just pay attention to what's going on the internet, 9 out of 10 of these cats that bitch about wrestling on the internet, 9 out of 10 of them have never bought a shirt, bought a ticket, done anything productive in the business, or had a positive thought or productive thought outside of, hey, let me just armchair book a show when I have no clue how it works whatsoever at all. Those people are, I'm sorry to say it like this, because, you know, people have different value in society, but we're talking business. We're talking wrestling. In the wrestling business, the person that has never bought a ticket, bought a shirt, but goes online and complains, their value in wrestling is an absolute zero.
Yeah. Well, right or wrong, there's a reason why Triple H is not pushing LA Knight. Right or wrong. I mean, he's got a reason in his head why they're not pushing him. Just like we talked about formerly Cesaro.
Yeah.
AEW has a reason why they're not pushing him to the top. Right or wrong. I'm not saying that he couldn't be put, but in their mind, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing.
There's a reason. Yep. Whatever it may be, there's a reason for it. And we may not know it. We may never know it. We may not even agree with it. But it's their reason. It's their company. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. No, you're right. Let's hit the chat real quick, because we got some comments here from Ripshot. He says, in early AEW, we got at least one shock debut every pay-per-view. So much excitement came from Who's Next. Some worked, some got fumbled, then big names ran out. New Day at All In could be huge if done right. And we talked about the possibility of New Day coming to AEW. Also the Motor City Machine Guns. But we know that that's something that is in it's coming. At least I feel like it's coming, but we gotta wait for it. And then Ripshot says that would also damage my channel, talking about Gaston. He says, I don't need a video with 5 total views and 1 comment saying, who the fuck is this guy?
Ripshot, animation genius. Go check him out. You're gonna love his humor if you tune into this show.
That dude's hilarious, man. The fact that he just hangs out with us, man, I love it. I love it.
Fightins, we already
we talked about it, brother. I promise.
For a minute.
That's why I love our chat, man. We did talk about this. Check it out. Check it out on the podcast version, Apple Podcast, Spotify. We definitely went into it, and it was before we went to break. We got deep into that conversation. But okay, I'll go ahead and give my loves and lows for this episode of AEW Dynamite. Then we'll slide out of here which was a really great episode. One of my loves here for this episode of AEW Dynamite. Most definitely was seeing Harley Cameron get a victory over Marina Shafir. My interest in Harley Cameron is beginning to grow because her ability as a wrestler is starting to get better, but her ability as an entertainer has really. I mean, we've seen it so much in the past with her comedic skills, her having the little Mercedes Moné. With her ventriloquism and whatnot. She's multi-talented, but her wrestling is starting to come together now. And I think that there's a good chance that she might have a good shot at possibly getting the TBS championship and just shocking everybody. I think that would be fun. I think we got to keep developing Harley Cameron because she's talented as an entertainer and she's starting to become even more talented as a wrestler as time goes on. She picked up that big victory over Marina Shafir. Another thing that I loved about this episode, there was a little bit, so the backstage stuff where they had MJF and the Don Callis family. I'm telling you, Don Callis is looking at a mutiny on his hands, man. He's looking at a mutiny on his hands, and especially Andrade. Andrade is going to be the first defector. Yep. Andrade's going to be the first defector. They're telling that story way too good for me not to believe that Andrade is going to defect. And then the shirts. The shirts were brilliant. I loved it. They had Don Callis, MJF, Team Don Callis, MJF. Both Don Callis and MJF with their heads on.
Dude.
On statues.
The fucking moments that they are making. These two together is just genius. Double genius. Let me ask you real quick, guys. Who do you think's going to be the last one standing with the Callis family and goes with Callis? I think it's going to be the Jet. I'm still sticking down the middle, and I think the Jet is the division that just broke the Callis family.
I'm going to say Jet.
Yeah, I think I agree too.
I think it's the Jet. I think it's the Jets. Yeah,
you remember them, Tony?
I do. I do remember that. I watched that on a little black and white TV.
There we go.
I love it, man.
Love it, Tony.
That's the best, man. That's the best. But yeah, I love that segment with the shirts. And then the look. I mean, Okada. I know Okada is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. He's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. But like his facial expression when he saw the shirt, I lost my shit. I lost my shit when I saw Okada's face when he saw the shirt, because he was kind of like, I know you guys on the podcast version that's listening on the podcast version can't say, but he was like, it was like a look of like shock and disgust at the same time. He was like, I was like, Okada is his comedic timing for somebody who's like just an incredible in-ring performer. His comedic timing is so good, and like his facial expressions, great. That segment popped me. His facial expressions popped me. That everything about that backstage segment, I loved it. I thought that was fun, and you need that. You definitely needed that, especially on such a wrestle-centric show. I'm gonna have to agree with Voice on this one. The Swerve Strickland and Daniel Garcia match was really good. I really liked that match. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I just love the energy. I agree with Voice that they come from the outside was too long, but I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about the energy that Daniel Garcia brought when he was coming to the ring. It was like he was ready, to go. And yeah, he lost the match, but he came in, he did once again, it's not, I don't love the Death Riders, but like when I try to lock into what it is, this is when I see Daniel Garcia, he is a member of the stable that is completely bought in to the message of the Death Riders.
Yeah.
We don't like the Death Riders. We know that. We've established that. I get it. In that moment, in that time, I liked the Daniel Garcia character because he is somebody who's completely bought into what the cult of the Death Riders is. He goes in there. He's got that big energy. He's doing the Death Rider push-ups before the match starts. He's getting in Swerve Strickland's face. And it was all for him to lose this match and for Swerve to look strong heading into Forbidden Door with his match against Will Ospreay. But the way Daniel Garcia performed in that match and the way that he had that chip on his shoulder, it stuck with me, and I really, really, really liked that.
I agree. He's playing his portion of the Death Riders perfectly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, once again, don't like the stable, but for his character, he's completely bought into the message, and he's playing it really, really well.
His crash out is going to be epic.
Oh my God! Because he's gonna be the guy that's like, you know how there's the guy that's like completely bought in, and then things fall apart around him, and he's like, wait a minute, but I made this my everything.
Yeah.
That's where the crash out is going to be absolutely epic from Daniel Garcia, because out of every member of the Death Riders, he's by far the one who I think has bought in the most.
100%.
So I really enjoy. There's a potential story arc there with Daniel Garcia. Absolutely loving the survival of the fittest qualifying matches, because now we have something to look forward to beyond Forbidden Door. Love that. Love that fact that we're going to crown a new TBS champion next week, and it's going to be in a 6-woman elimination match. You don't see those on weekly TV that much. That's going to be great. I really, really like that. And this is a great way to crown a new TBS champion after having, the abrupt end of Willow Nightingale's reign because of injury. So, okay, let me go ahead and get to my lows now, and then we'll wrap this thing up. My lows here, man. Mark Briscoe he's okay. I'm not gonna go into him rambling on promos again, because I've already talked about that on a previous episode. If you want to hear about me talking about him rambling on promos, listen to that episode. I'm gonna focus in on his inconsistency in promos, because he will ramble one week, then next week he will have a solid, straightforward promo, and then the next week he's fucking rambling again. Like, you've got to stay in that flow state. You got to stay in that where you were at when you were talking about your brother, when you were talking about your pure hatred for MJF. They played a video package where, they're trying to sell to me that MJF is your worst enemy. Ever since he said what he said about you shouldn't have been in that, that your brother shouldn't have been in that car, it should have been you. You've had this intense hatred for him, but you're talking goofy on promos, dude. Like, he needs to be more consistent. I hate the inconsistency in his promos, because, once again, not to keep getting into it, but one week he's all over the place. Next week, boom, straightforward. We know exactly what we're getting. And the next week, he's all over the place again. You're supposed to be selling me that you're a main event guy. I want to believe, but when you start talking foolishness for 5 minutes and you're not getting to the point. There's points. We all know that when it comes to promos in wrestling, there's things that we got to talk about. You gotta talk about what's gonna happen. You're gonna talk about your opponent. You're gonna build your opponent up just for you to knock them down because you're gonna win. Because if you just sit up there and say your opponent is next week I'm wrestling Voice and he's trash, he's garbage, he's the worst wrestler ever, and next week I'm gonna squash him, it's gonna be nothing, it's gonna be light work. Why the fuck would you watch that match? I just buried him. Now nobody wants to watch the match. I gotta say things like, oh, well, next week I'm gonna go into a match against the Voice, Josh Joseph, and I gotta tell you, that guy is an incredible competitor. He can take down your limbs. He can break you down. I've seen some of his work. I'm studying matches on the Voice, Josh Joseph, and I know that when I meet him next week in that ring, I know I'm gonna have a hell of a match. But one thing I'm gonna tell you about the Voice, Josh Joseph, is that where he has the great technical ability, where he has the skills. He doesn't have the heart that I have. So, Josh Joseph, when me and you meet in that ring next week, you better be ready and realize that your arms are just too short to box with God, because I will outwork you, I will out wrestle you, and I will take you down to the mat 1, 2, 3 next week in New Mexico. Me, Josh Joseph, I'll see you there, pal. That's what you got to do. You gotta build him up, take him down, then sell the match. And he doesn't do that. He rambles. I absolutely loathe that.
Yeah. And then after House says all that, I throw a Sabu chair into his head. And we
none of that
started
matters.
right there.
We're doing it now, brother. We're doing it right now. But you get what I'm saying. It's
100%.
He's all over the place, man, and I can't stand it. I don't want to beat it into the ground too much, but like the amount of matches on a go home show is just goofy. It's goofy. Like, you don't need that much matches on a go home show when the pay-per-view is going to be 10 matches long.
Yeah.
We don't need that much. Not just for the fact that you're cutting out story and putting in more in-ring stuff. When you have that much matches on a go-home show, aren't you worried about injury?
Nope, never happens in our promotion.
Come on, like, it's just, I just thought it was a weird move. It was the show was great, but it was a weird move. Where was Lio Rush? I mean, they kind of played to it a tiny bit. When backstage, at the beginning of the show with the conglomerate, and Orange Cassidy was back there, and they had and you had Renee say, "Is everything okay, Orange?" And he said, "It's fine." Yeah. And then he looked around as if he was waiting for Lio Rush to show up, but Lio Rush never showed up. I wouldn't say that's a loathe, but like, I just feel like you got to keep drilling with Lio Rush, like. At this point, with the way his character is taking off, and with the way his career is beginning to have a complete resurgence, and the fact that he's basically playing the Danhausen of AEW right now, to where he doesn't have to wrestle, but he can have funny segments and it'll be entertaining. I just don't know if he can afford to take shows off right now. Even if he's just doing something on camera, being funny. He doesn't have to wrestle. I just don't think he can afford to take shows off right now because his character is hot.
Well, he did become the Ring of Honor TV champion, I believe.
Yep,
he did.
I was just gonna say that, and
he did.
He is getting ready to wrestle Jack Vaughn.
Former In Your House guest Jack Vaughn. Yes. That is awesome. I think that's going down in Canada.
I believe so. Yes, at the Performance Ford Windsor. July 24th, Lio Rush and Jack Vaughn. That's amazing. Drive to Glory.
That's
NCG. Sorry about that. I don't know why I said W.
No, that's sick, bro. Like, I love that. I love the fact that that's a big opportunity for Jack Vaughn right there.
Yeah. Two great characters working together. That's going to be fun. But House, I know we're on a time crunch, but real quick, I think that Lio is doing okay because you were thinking about him because of Orange Cassidy and what Orange Cassidy was doing without saying his name. I think you can play a little bit here and there to where you can give him a show here and there off because you want the anticipation of, oh, is he going to show up? And then he doesn't. And then boom, there he is. He's a unique character.
He is. Let's chat real quick because we got brother BKL. He says, unfortunately, we know exactly what's going on with Lio Rush. Turned into golem-like character shift that has disturbed and confused fans and colleagues alike, just like scary movies. I think that voice might have a point now that I think about it. Maybe they don't want him on every show. Maybe they want to pull him back a little bit. And be like, hey, we want to give you a chance to miss him for a week. Especially since, like, he's not doing anything at Forbidden Door that I know of. So it's like, okay, let's just kind of take him off for a week. And we'll bring him back doing something next week. Because, you know, maybe he'll do something at that next show that they're going to be doing for AEW. So that just thoughts there, but yeah, I once again overall this show was weird. I know I've said it a lot. It was just weird for a go home show. Let's put some grades on it though. OG, what are you giving this show out of 10?
I'll give it a 7 for me. I got bored a little bit, and but I mean, it was a lot of good wrestling, but it wasn't a bad show. I mean, I think it was decent.
Yeah, it was. I agree with that. Decent show, and I'll give my thoughts in a second. Voice, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it a straight up 7.5 because I mean, honestly, we've beaten it to death. This should have been flipped with the last week. So 7.5. I enjoyed the wrestling and the stories that were being pushed. I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, they did well. That they hooked me with that Maya World and Monet one.
Yeah, I think that OG said it. OG said it earlier. No matter what happens with Maya World in this finals, I think you have to have a plan with her because with the way things are moving, on the women's division, which let's face it, we've talked about it. We talked about it last week, and it was my loathe. Their women's division is still not where it needs to be at. They're starting to try to kind of because you can kind of see some players in this TBS Survival of the Fittest scramble match, but still not enough players to be like, hey, that's the next AEW Women's Champion. We see a lot of potential mid card talent, but I don't see any like next level top tier talent. And like we took her all the way to the finals. Why would we not see what we can do past that? And like, we're gonna get out of here, but like another loathe of mine is like, it's more of a fear. I won't say it's a loathe, it's a fear that they might have Maya World drop off, and then we'll see her lose in the finals, and then not be seen after that. And the reason it's a fear is because look at how amped up I was for Shane Taylor Promotions when they came and decimated the Death Riders. And now they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, but what was their next? What was next asked of them? Did they say yes or did they say no? Because Maya says yes.
Maya does say yes, but I feel like Shane Taylor Promotions is a bunch of guys that are company guys, especially Sean Dean, who books for, I think he books for Ring of Honor. He booked for AEW Dark, but he books for Ring of Honor now because Ring of Honor is basically AEW Dark. I mean, we all know it. But, but yeah, I just feel like it was for the moment. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that Shane Taylor Promotion said yes or no to anything. I think it's just the fact that this is what we're doing this week, and this is all we need you for.
Probably right.
And that's not always great because, like, Shane Taylor Promotions could have been something, at least on Collision. Like, I understand it's pretty faction heavy on Dynamite. Don Callis family, a lot of members. Conglomerate, a lot of members. Death Riders, a lot of members. They could have took over Collision. I don't know. Maybe I just thought that it sucked that was just for a moment, and I'm scared that Maya World is just for a moment. I don't want her to just be for a moment.
Yeah, no, we agree with you on that one. Did you give your grade, Mark Briscoe?
I know I marked Briscoe, didn't I? 7.
You did.
I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't a bad episode. I can't give it any less than a 7 out of 10 because it was a good episode. It was just weird because it was so wrestling heavy on a go home show. But I can't say it was a bad show because when I watched it back, I liked it. It was just a lot of good in ring. I could see if you're somebody who loves purely in ring wrestling for damn near 2 straight hours, I could see why you give this like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. I get it. But when you're guys like us that love story, like you could have gave me 2 less matches and maybe pushed some more story, and I probably would have made this an 8.
Yeah, take Ospreay and ELP out and the Bucks and TMDK out. There's 2 matches. That's probably about 15, 16, 17 minutes of time that you
Yep.
could have did better promos. And then the other thing, when you talked about Briscoe, Briscoe did a great promo last week.
Yeah.
So that's what was missing. I think he didn't know what to say this week. So
He
so
didn't
I
know what
think
to say.
he already did the perfect promo. So I think that promo was a week early. And also the same thing, not that I was a big fan of that having that match last week with all 12 guys in the ring since you're getting ready to do one in a cage match, but that would have made more sense on this show at the end than it did last week. So just little things.
100%.
Just a
Yep.
little
Yeah.
focus thing. I mean, that show, if you change things around a little bit, take a couple matches out, add some story, and then change that main event match. And not that the main event match wasn't good. It was good, but you could have
Great match.
somewhere else in that show did that with that 12 man match. This show could have been a 9.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Just
There
little
was
things.
so much potential for this show to be more than a 7.
Yeah.
There just
Yeah,
was.
but I mean, we are also critiquing it on how we've been accustomed to the go home show. So I mean,
very
in that
true.
sense, again, we have to do what our loyal Tony has told us. We need to put on our AEW glasses. Maybe this was a swing. Maybe he was like, I don't want to do the typical go home show. Let's try something extra.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
mean, I don't.
Bro,
I just wish it was switched around.
I know.
Wished it
I
was switched
agree.
around.
I agree with you, man. You're 100%. I agree with you. Once again, if you love bell to bell action, this could easily have been a 9 out of 10 for you because the wrestling was great on this show. It really was. Brother BKO says, don't forget we know Mark Briscoe is incredible and his promos are 100% if you give his grade. And I'll be like, congratulations, you're playing yourself. So, okay, I think he's saying, I think he's being sarcastic here, a little sarcastic at least. But yeah, man, I just rambling, bro. That's what it was. But okay, we got to get OG here because he's got another show that he's going to do. We got to get him out. OG, where can they catch you and everything you're doing?
I'll be on the air here in just a little bit at Gonzo's Sports Room with Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk. They're 8:05, something like that. And then at 10 o'clock tonight, we got Gonzo's Sports Room. We'll be talking World Cup. We'll be talking NBA. We'll be talking the Pacers. Pacers got a guy from Purdue. They moved up in the draft and got a guy from Purdue. We'll be talking all that kinds of stuff. And so, yeah. Also Monday, there's no Gonzo's Wrestling Room because we will be at the Jay County Fair doing a show for WCWO.
Okay.
Okay,
You guys are on the move.
Yep.
I love it, man. I love it. All right, Voice, you already know what to do, man. Play us on out of here. Let them know where they can catch you and everything you're doing.
All right, fans. So if you liked what you've seen here, why don't you come back next Thursday, same time, same place, and well, we'll be talking what just happened at Forbidden Door, and that we'll be covering that AEW Dynamite. So come hang out with us. There's OG, Tony, Howse, and me, and we talk AEW Dynamite. Yeah. Great time, fun time. Hey, do you like Monday Night Raw? Do you like slight gingers who know what the fuck they're talking about because they're professionals? Well, that's Kevin Calloway, and he's one of the best. He's my co-host. He's the Chaos Goblin, and that's what he talks. He talks all the neat holds, and he tells us what we should have done or what we should have seen last week. This week, if you missed it, go check it out. Kevin normally does not cuss or talk negative about promotions.
He
tends to put these into like nice rounded statements. And but this week he let it fly, and he gave a mouthful to the creative at WWE. Go check that out. It's a fun time. 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. You can catch me and Kevin Calloway talking Monday Night Raw. Lastly is the WCW Watch Along. Guess what? Me and Howse watch WCW, and we are in the middle of Nitro when it was 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yep.
They condense it down to 1 hour, and me and Howse, we watch it back. Sometimes we get commercials, sometimes we don't. We talked about it on the episode. We talked about Heyman on the episode and his interview with CGV. Yes, me and Howse, we cover a lot on that show because it's an adaptation of our ECW show, which we thoroughly love, and we it's always going to be a part of In Your House.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just taking it on the back burner. But WCW, 6 p.m. Wednesday, me and Howse, you should be there. The chats are wild, and we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of ribbing going on there. Hey, do you like that rib shot? Shouting you out. Go check out Rib Shot. He's doing great stuff. Go buy tickets to that Jack Vaughn match if you can versus Leo Rush. I'm telling you right now, those two characters together, magic. Magic, magic, magic.
Oh, that is going to be good, man. I really hope that they get some good clips of that. Like maybe it'll be on YouTube or somewhere we can get, because I'd love to see that match. But all right, let me go ahead and prattle off what I got going on, because my lovely wife is here in the background and I've got dinner here waiting on me. So I'm about to get this thing going. So tomorrow we have Jasmine St. Clair coming on to the show. Of course, she's been on ECW, she's had appearances on TNA, and right now she's working on JCW and NWA. We had to reschedule that interview, but looks like we'll have her on tomorrow. Then of course, we have a big wrestling weekend coming up. Many different shows. TNA is running. I think they were talking about it in the chat. Slammiversary is going to be. We have NXT Great American Bash. We have Forbidden Door. We have WWE presenting Night of Champions Saturday in Saudi Arabia. A lot to cover. So you better believe that even if it's just me and OG this coming Sunday, there will be a show. We're going to be covering a lot of wrestling. Monday, we have former OVW Women's Champion Leela Feist, another rescheduled interview, and it's going to be a great conversation. I'm actually sometimes things get rescheduled and it happens for a reason, because Leela Feist, of course, she is a regular at OVW, and I would love, and I'm going to love picking her brain about her thoughts about the OVW and TNA merger and what this could mean for her career and, of course, her roster mates as well. So stay tuned for that this Monday. Leela Feist, former OVW Women's Champion, coming on to the show. A lot of buzz around that with the merger between OVW and TNA and everything they got going on. That's going to be a great episode. Guys, I'm excited because we are doing great things here at In Your House, all right? We're doing great things. Our downloads are up. We're proud of what we're doing here. We got the website that we're finalizing and hopefully launching by the time next week comes up. And man, pull back the curtain a little bit. Yeah, we don't like to talk about this too much, but like to be able to cover what we do here, the expenses for what we do here off of the ad revenue that we make, because you guys listen to this show and you guys download us, and because you guys download us, you guys play through those ads. And if it was up to me, I wouldn't play any ads, y'all. I'll just let you play it all the way through. But we do gotta see some kind of profit on this in some kind of way. So it is a business, but I do thank you guys, because it's just a boost. It lets us know we're moving in the right direction when our services are getting paid for to keep this thing going. It's incredible. And we're going to keep this thing going. July 11th, come join us as we do our first ever UFC watch along. We're going to be watching UFC. It's going to be a great show. We're going to have Max Holloway going up against Conor McGregor. I'm going to be live streaming that. That's going to be a good one. This is what we're doing. We're trying to give you guys a lot of different content to bring you guys in and want to vibe with us, because we're here to entertain you guys. It's all part of the work, and that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So for OG Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room, for the voice Josh Joseph and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Malakan the Conman House, here to remind you to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Dynamite, dynamite, dynamite.